Today, Coach Rubens got me a big challenge, and I'm gonna learn with an IFBB Pro. He just got his Pro card, and right now, it's gonna take me to school, so stay tuned.
I personally like that, the way you two did it, with the back engaged the entire time, scapula activated like this. You know, a lot of people want to explore that movement there in full range and then re-engage to contract again, and you lose the contraction when you keep the scapula engaged and only move enough to create a stretch in the lat muscle and then return. You maintain more time under contraction, so the muscle seems to become more solid, denser, you know?
We're looking more for the stretch of the lats than a joint movement.
Exactly, the scapula is engaged, so the muscle's contracted, so it stretches while contracted. As contradictory as that might seem, it's contracted the whole time and it's stretching due to the force of the weight being pulled down, not because you're relaxing the muscle, you know? Notice what I said, his shoulder doesn't even move that much forward and still he gets a massive lat movement. When you look at his scapula in the mirror, you can see it. The back is a muscle that's very easy to train incorrectly because if you let go of the muscle, when you're lowering the weight, you pull against gravity and the muscle can relax because you're holding the weight with the strength of your hands and forearms and the muscle's no longer engaged. So when you keep the scapula fully activated and you resist the descent with the muscles still contracted and then go back up again, that muscular contraction is what we call mechanotransduction, which generates that muscle tension you need to hypertrophy, you know? They're two technical guys, right? They didn't sacrifice that movement, didn't trade it for just doing the movement itself. But there's something I usually say, man, that I think is really interesting. Bodybuilding is 90% technique and 10% heart. The last bit, man, you go 90% of the set with technique like you guys did. The end, my brother, you have technique precisely to generate strength. So just go crazy and do the reps with heart because that's what will give you the extra reps you need. Wow.
I like pull-ups in back training because of the movements that use body weight. This is definitely one of the most challenging. And why didn't I start the workout with it? Because yes, they would definitely be able to do more reps if they started the back workout with pull-ups for sure. But since, man, I'm working with two very strong professional guys with a lot of muscle mass, I wanted to save that for a more basic movement that would hit more muscle area, right, in this initial work. So that's why I preferred rows.
If we switched it, pull-ups will probably be very compromised after getting stressed out here with the rows. And here, since it's a movement where you can't change the lows, just body weight, I know it will get harder if the muscle got to it already fatigued. So one tip I give you guys is start with a basic movement, a compound exercise, and then move on to something like this that tends to give you bigger movement performance when you're fresh. And in the next ones, don't use that momentum. Let it fail, let it fail. We're not here to just add reps, we're here to stress the muscle. So instead of swinging, we end up shifting that load a bit from the lats to the biceps and to the whole body, especially when you get that swing. Let the lat actually fail, okay? Go straight up and that's it.
Man, I don't want to make excuse, right? But trying to justify, it's been 18 days since I competed, right?
Yeah.
I'm 17 kilos heavier.
Heavier after the competition. No, that's not an excuse. It's like a 45-pound plate tied to your body. That's how it should be. But it's coming along, it's working.
And like I had to deplete a lot, right? Had to drain to cut down. So thank God now it's up 10 pounds and I can, now it feels more comfortable even when I'm fasted because I was cutting down from 118, 120 to 93.
Wow. What weight do you feel stage ready at?
About 97.
Nice.
But I still had to trim a little more. You even told me that at the first competition that I needed to get a little sharper. So I dropped to 94, went to 93, and gained more quality. So now I believe for the next show, I'll go on stage at around 96. But sharp, I'll go up with a bit more size to keep that same conditioning.
Give me something. Do you usually include pull-ups in your back workouts?
No.
Why not? You don't like them or just not used to it?
Man, honestly, I'm just not used to it. There were times when I added them and treated it like the bench press, like I want to push myself on this. I went through a phase trying to improve constantly at pull-ups, but then training changed, the gym changed. Since I haven't been here that long, there are a lot of machines here that I have back in Brazil. So sometimes you just test new stuff.
But it's cool, right? Because like I'm not an advocate for any one exercise. It's not about having to do pull-ups in a back workout. But it's interesting when you haven't been doing it, suddenly you have to, because that exposes your body to something it's not used to, and that takes you to a new level, right? Which is what you did. I got here, there were new machines, new movements I'd never done. That's gonna hit my body in a different way. That's smart training. Guys, just a reminder, different grip variations will slightly change the portion of the lats being worked, but it's never anything dramatic, okay? No scientific study shows that changing your grip drastically changes the muscle's function. But when we're talking about high-level muscle thickness, any change, any angle, any different biomechanics might be enough to hit the muscle differently. So I suggest you start training with one type of bar and then vary grips, go underhand, wider, overhand, behind the neck. That can help you feel the muscle in a different way, all right?
I never do the wide one.
No?
No, I always go with neutral grip, better for my shoulder, but it's always good to do something different.
Yeah, it puts you under a kind of effort you're not used to. Look at the size of these guys already, man. They're only halfway through the workout. For real, it's so easy to train guys like this. We as coaches, we're gonna spend 90% of the time with clients like me, like you who's watching this video, who are not athletes, not competitors, and you can still get so much out of them. But Formula One, which is these guys here, they teach us something, man. When you think they're at their limit, they still got more to give. They both did reps in the range of 8, 10, 12, and in this last set with double the weight they started with, they added 20% more reps, just because we create the right mindset, the right environment, and they start seeing they could overcome the load every time. If you don't push your client to their limit, they will probably never break through their plateau. They will never get to the next level. That's why these guys are where they are. Guys, this is a back workout that both a professional and a high-level amateur can do, all right? Well, it's already improved, man. The density is better. The waistline is thinner from the back.
De costas. Maravilha.
He's already starting to lose fat, man. The lower part is already softer there, right around the flank. You can see it's starting to loosen. That's it. Turn to the front again. Hit the double biceps post on the top, please. The density has improved a lot. The skin has thinned quite a bit. Awesome. We're moving forward. We're progressing. That's good.
Estamos andando, estamos progredindo. Isso é bom.
Please give me your feedback.
I've got a lot of good things to say. For example, you got a lot of body awareness. You know how to vacuum the abs. You know how to contract them. A lot of times, people in the first competition don't have that much muscle control. Bro, your muscles are already more mature, so you can see you got density in your muscle. I think the physique is well on track and your mindset is solid, you know, so you're on the right path and you know what needs to be done, you get it? That's cool because, man, I could see in the workout that you logged in, so your physique is gonna change a lot from now until the competition because you're in the zone, you know? So, man, there are a lot of positive points. It's not just about how your shape looks today, it's where it's headed. You're focused, you're on track. I think everything's lining up to go well, you know?
Let's take a look at your physique, shall we? Let's go. Rebound physique, 17 kilos heavier, okay? But let's take a look. He's a guy who just turned pro. The density here is insane.
Excelente, excelente. Boa.
Tight. Man, I'm impressed. He put on 17 kilos and still has his abs under control. Nice. His delts are magnificent, right, Nan? It really shows how important good delts are for a rear double bicep pose. Right here, it's hard to bring it up, right? Excellent, bro. Excellent. Very dense.
Aqui não tá. Tá no campo, tá ligado?
Aham, tá difícil de subir, né? Excelente, mano. Excelente. Muito denso.
It's really cool to have the opportunity to see a professional athlete's physique like this. There's a difference. There's extra density, there's maturity, there's hardness, right? The skin is different, and that's what makes a guy a professional. G was already a professional before he became one. That's what you all need to understand. A pro card doesn't transform you the moment you get it. First, you become a professional in your physique, and then you get crowned as a professional athlete. So it's the same thing that Cezar is trying to do. When Cezar prepares to look like an athlete, act like an athlete, live like an athlete, he becomes an athlete before stepping on a bodybuilding stage. So that's very important. Congratulations.